My first day in quarantine in this shed, and I'm actually really loving it. I hope everyone out there is safe or with loved ones. I know if I'd have stayed in my block of flats, I'd be very ill. I'm Oli Spleen, Oliver Spear by birth. I was born in Hastings. I live in Brighton when I'm not living in a shed, which is where I'm staying for quarantine. I wrote a book and had it published to Pravakazi. At the book launch, I formed my first band, The Flesh Happening. And since then I've been in various other bands, most notably Pink Narcissus, Spleen, which is my current go-to band, and I've also released a few solo albums under Oli Spleen. My sister's been looking after me while I've been here. So when I got here, I was sweaty and nauseous and all of this stuff, which in retrospect is some of the symptoms that I was exhibiting prior to coming here. And the next day, when I had those symptoms and I hadn't been traveling in a car, I thought, I'm still not well. And yeah, I'm in an at-risk group, and my block's just a breeding ground of potential cross-infection with all the lift buttons and all this stuff. They left me an Etch-a-Sketch in case I get bored, and Zelda the cat's come to visit. So when my sister posts me meals through the window, but there's lots of space to go and explore, so yeah. But luckily for someone who had TB 20 years ago, it didn't seem to go into my lungs. So I'm really lucky. This now was over 2 weeks ago when I was exhibiting symptoms, and I don't know if we know enough about how long this virus lasts or at what point or what stage it's contagious. So we're just playing it safe. Hello, this is day 2, and I'm under the covers because I've been cold. I've had hot flushes, cold flushes. Yesterday, well, I felt like this on Thursday, but then I felt better, so I thought maybe it was just, I don't know, the flu or something. And then the wonderful Amelia gave me a lift to my sister's yesterday. We both had masks on and gloves and, you know, took all what precautions we could. And when I got here, I was feeling nauseous and flushed, but I put that down to travel sickness. But today, in fact, just in the last hour or two, I started to feel really cold. Now I'm feeling really hot. I still not coughing, so my lungs being a weak point, that's a blessing. Touch wood that it doesn't enter into my lungs. And I've been pissing in a little bottle here because my sister's husband wants to use that for fertilizer or compost or something. And I've been reading Janice Ian's wonderful biography, Society's Child, which is great. I normally drink 2 bottles of wine of an evening. Alcoholic. But my sister's rationing me. I only eat what she gives me. So today, I think my daily ration will be a glass of cider. So this will do me good. Detox. Maybe that's why I'm getting the flushes. Fuck knows. No, actually, I haven't started the detox yet. That'll be today. And yeah, I have been feeling odd for the last week or no, since Thursday. So anyway, fingers crossed. And she got this place because I was diagnosed HIV positive in 1999, and my sister kind of was worried about breaking the news to my mum. And a while later, she found out she was pregnant. She was never going to have kids. And she decided to have the child. The child was born on the day I was checked into hospital, so I really thought she'd kind of replace me emotionally. I mean, as far as fill that void, that I would die and that this child would kind of fill that void. And when I didn't die, my sister made sure I had a big part in her kids' upbringing. But the other thing that came out of it is my grandma gave her a bit of money towards getting a little flat in London. House prices just skyrocketed. They sold up the little flat, and then they moved back to Hastings area where we come from. And the price of the house they'd had in London meant that they could buy loads of land. And she just said, I feel like we've won the lottery. I'm feeling hot now, so I'm going to venture out, but I'll wear the mask just in case.
venturing out here is easy. There's lots of space, lots of land, so it's a really nice place to walk down the garden, so I can have more than my allotted one a day walks. But I'll wear the mask anyway and figure out what to do with this piss. Harry, what do I do with the pee? Hi, Darius. Oh God, this is disgusting. In goes the pee. Oh, splashback. I've got the gloves on now. I'm going to feed the sheep. Oh God, they're coming after me. Fed. Oh, Rami's not getting any. Oh no, they're all in. They're all in there now. Anyway, see you soon.
I didn't have a thermometer, so I couldn't see if I had a temperature, but I did feel really toxic, and I know that feeling from when I was seriously ill 20 years ago, which is weird because I'm doing a whole album about almost dying of AIDS, which and to actually like find ourselves in a time where a lot of that stuff, scapegoating of and blame, the kind of like hysteria around an epidemic it's ringing more true now than I can remember in that whole 20 years.
I had pericardial effusion, which is a infection of this sac that surrounds the heart. So this was filling up with fluid, crushing my heart. I had pneumonia, tuberculosis. My lungs were so bad that I was coughing up compressed pellets of mucus.
But at the same time, the medication was effective by then. So whilst I thought I was going to die as far as I knew, I just kind of skimmed the tail end of the epidemic. So it just gave me something to write about. And it also gave me this financial support. So that really helped me pursue what I wanted to do, which was writing and music at that time.
I came out here to do some writing, and the sheep think I've come to feed them. I haven't got any food, no. It's supposed to be songwriting for Mishkin. I've got my notebooks, a book to read, none of it's food, Doris. So, yeah, this is life in quarantine of my sister's. But yeah, I had a bit of a meltdown this morning because all of my direct debits came out in the same day. Of course, I can't get to a bank. Not out here. So thanks to people who bought my CD, it's taken me out of the red, and I'm very happy again. But I did have a meltdown, burst into tears, all that kind of stuff. Because it is stressful times, isn't it? You wouldn't know because you're a sheep.
So I've had ongoing complications due to HIV, and if I had have died 20 years ago when I was very critically ill, that was AIDS. It would have been an AIDS-defining illness. But who knew then? I didn't know that you could recover from it. And so for the last 15 years, I've had an undetectable viral load, which means no risk of transmission whatsoever. And it means that I can live a fairly normal life.
Hi, I wasn't going to do a blog today because there was lots. There was lots that went on. A chicken got pecked by another chicken, and then I tried to look after it, and it laid an egg, and it was all flapping about. I think it's got some bad disease. I don't feel ill anymore. So if I did have the coronavirus, then I don't think I have it anymore. But it'd be nice to have tests to know. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But stay safe, everyone, and look after yourself.
I had severe anxiety around the environment, and there aren't planes flying now, and maybe we can learn something from this. So I'm really maybe such a depressive person that when I'm thrown into a state of emergency, I feel more alive and more alert. The main thing that's changed is that I'm really missing is that every week I'd have band practice and would keep my voice ticking over. The guitarist for my band, Spleen, Adrian, he's been doing riffs, which I need to look at and work out some lyrics. I've also been finalising an album that I recorded with Nick Hudson, which is themed around the AIDS epidemic, which I was going to release this summer, 20 years from my hospitalisation. I wasn't expecting it to kind of resonate and rhyme with the times as much as it seems to be.
What's so nice about staying here is that I'm not really isolated from the outside world in any respect. I can go out. So I'm going to walk down the field now to show you the extent of my places I can explore. This is where I live, this little box just on the side of the house. So yeah, my sister's got all this land. This whole field is well, we've also been exploring beyond that. Like, there's a forest at the end and there's paths you can walk. Doris, are you okay? And these are the sheep. So yeah, it's not like being isolated. Here I feel safe and the air is fresh.
It was funny because the night that I came here was when they officially imposed the lockdown. The days prior to that, they were saying they weren't closing the pubs, but they were telling people not to go out. We got a sense that things were going to the movement was going to be shut down by degrees. And yeah, it just kind of worked just as well that I was here at the time the lockdown started to come into play. So I think we timed it well, except I had already been subjected to the virus, I'm pretty sure, while I was in Brighton, because I haven't felt that ill for a long time.
So now it's like today, day 15 or 16 or something. I've completely lost count, but I'm not bored because there's lots to explore. Yeah, I mean, I miss band practice, but other than that, I'm having fun and keeping busy.
I think I'll hopefully come away from this not drinking every night as I did before. It's made me realize that I don't need to do that all the time. It was a security thing, really. I'd buy 2 bottles of wine. I'd then drink them in quick succession, kind of knock myself out. And yeah, it's good to know that I don't need to do that. As far as the wider picture, I hope that people can be more mindful about, the environment and stuff if we're actually able to see if we actually went into a crisis such as this around the environment. It's nice to know that we can actually respond to it and we don't just go on as normal. I'm actually feeling better about humanity to realize that we can actually change our behavior if we need to, because I was really worried about that stuff. The video we were going to do together, it's definitely on the cards, but the fact it was so centered around death, I was hiring a coffin and I was going to be a dancing corpse, and yes, it's still going to happen, but I don't know how close to the bone all of that, pardon the pun, all of that will be after all of this, But some people might think it's a little insensitive that I'm playing a dancing corpse at my own funeral for my next music video. But fuck it, it's satire, it's comedy, it's a joyful song.
So technically today is day 20 and I'm just keeping really busy tonight at 7. I'm having a band chat on Zoom where we do a quiz, which is really nice with my band Spleen. And I'm also working on finalising the AIDS album, Night Sweats and Fever Dreams. The amazing musicologist Daryl W. Bullock has written a really great blurb about the album.
But in a sense, that idea of the impact that we can have on other people's lives, is something that's very relevant now, because, this whole thing of why it's important to quarantine and stay at home, that literally you can infect one person who infects 2 people who infect 4 people, and people will die because of your consequences. So yeah, this song Destroyer of Worlds, I mean, I applied that to HIV because I knew some people who were irresponsible, certainly. But yeah, I did want to explore some kind of ideas around the sense of responsibility and how things can be transmitted and such. So the last song, After the Flood, is about how we piece our lives back together after a major disaster, and that metaphor seemed to work with the AIDS narrative, and it should also resonate with the current situation with this virus. Her life does find a way, and we do, and good does come out of bad situations.
So now it's day 21, week 3, I believe, of the quarantine, and I'm just getting sick of it now. I had a fun holiday before. Today I just feel a bit run down. Sure it's not the virus because I haven't been in contact with anyone else. Oh, my niece stuck a sticker to my forehead. Just noticed that. Oh, and she did my nails, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, it's still good being with family, but I'm just getting bored. I want to have band practice again. I want to make the music video I had planned beforehand. I want to write songs. I want to meet with people. I just feel that the government hasn't done enough to make it pass within the 3 weeks. That we were told we'd be quarantined for 3 weeks and nothing has changed. The death count daily is worse or as bad as it has been at its worst anywhere in Europe. And everyone's just clapping fucking Boris for not dying. Whoop-de-doo. And if we can't learn something from this, then maybe I'm just sick of the world right now. Would have been nice to end on a happier point, but this is how I feel today. I don't feel good. I feel run down, and it's not the virus, it's just the world. That's about it. Bye.